button that makes the streaming happen then, and we're gonna see if the streaming happens. It seems like the streaming is happening.
Cool. Alright, that's Scorpion. That's no good.
So yeah, Sega Genesis. What? Sega the company. Sega video game company. They made a Genesis. That's the thing they did. They made this. They made this Pitfall II The Lost Caverns Arcade Edition. It's got a vibe that is different.
It's got a vibe, yeah. I mean, that's cute. You know, the sprites are very expressive.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's a lot of logs.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to, Phase 1, the pre-stream. Hey, Silas. I am not having a nice weekend. Sorry to disappoint. We're going to talk about it a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of a chat phase between steps 1 and 2. Was that like some kind of demon bat? What was going on there?
I mean, that's similar to the bats that appear in in Pitfall 2.
But the bats in Pitfall 2 are bat colored, are they not?
Yeah, but there's also like pterodactyls.
Okay.
Pterodactyl. Right. I'll say the gameplay here is much closer to Pitfall 1.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm buying that rope swing.
I don't know. Jesus.
You gotta stop. Yeah. You just gotta go. You can make it to the next bounce. You gotta stop being afraid. Uh-oh. Oh shit.
What the fuck is this? Damn it.
Well, I mean, it's a volcano,
Wait.
Obviously.
Okay. But I put it... Right. I put in...
So that was 1 credit worth of lives.
Yeah.
Push start while pushing jump.
I don't know which one start is.
Enter, maybe? I would guess enter or space, probably. So to be clear, we're playing this on the Internet Archive. And I don't actually know how to control it.
No, you let me know that control button is jump, which I'm not used to.
Yeah, that is the...
And the arrow keys do the arrow stuff, but...
Okay, Harry, you could have grabbed that. I'm not blaming you for that one. That was Harry's fault. So, let me talk a little bit about this. We're doing our sort of like exploration of Pitfall for some reason. You started it, and then I decided to make it a problem for everybody.
Well,
that's okay. You can die real fast in this arcade game, which is arcade gamey. So, Pitfall II: The Lost Caverns. It's been described by historian Brett Weiss as a rare occurrence of an arcade game being influenced by a console game. This did later come out on a console, the SG-1000.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it's a pre-Genesis Sega console, or what they would call in Japan the Master System. Yeah, it's a weird looking thing. I'll put up some pictures of it in a second.
I like how pink his outfit is.
But it is the first video game console released by Sega. It came out in Japan in 1983, the same day that the Famicom released, actually, like the exact same day. And it would eventually release in the US as the Master System, but it was kind of redesigned, and It's not a thing people spent a lot of time with. Is the thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They did not. They did
Well,
not
I have
do.
a timer.
Yeah, and it looks really slapped on. It does not look like an element of the rest of this game. Hey there, dear Spider-Man, Alana the Witch. Welcome to the pre-stream. We're just learning more about the history of Pitfall Harry and his variously colored hats. And this screen is almost like a boss fight. Can you get past the terrifying volcano screen? Seems like the answer is mostly no. It's quite difficult to get past the stupid volcano screen. It's alright. You got it. I believe in you.
I don't.
It does seem like it's quite random and quite different from attempt to attempt, so
It might be. It feels bad to play. I'll say that.
yeah, so to be clear, it's just directions and jump, very classic Pitfall.
Without the kind of exploration aspect that you get with Pitfall 2. The actual Pitfall 2. It's very linear. This is very linear.
Yeah, so Sega licensed the Pitfall name from Activision. This game is sort of loosely based on both Pitfall and the console versions of Pitfall 2: The Lost Caverns, because keep in mind the console versions did come out first. This game was not super well regarded, and it did not make a lot of money.
Are you kidding me?
They brought it to the U.S. in May of 1985 after it kind of failed to really catch on in Japanese arcades. They thought, well, maybe the Americans will be into it, and we weren't. We were not. So that's pretty much. This is just sort of like the least important footnote in the history of Pitfalls. My darling, you have so little confidence. A lot of the time, you
confidence. I died real soon.
A lot of the time, you have made it, and then you panic and back out. Hell yeah, volcano screen clear. That scorpion is moving in a way that doesn't seem very leg-based. I don't want to say it is entirely.
You.
You wanted more exploration elements. I don't want to say it's entirely hip thrust based movement, but I do think that's what's happening. I give this one more credit.
One more credit, yeah.
I will say it's very colorful. It looks way more like a video game of the time than some of the other, Yeah. The NES one was also kind of colorful, but in a really ugly way.
Yeah. This is more attractive to look at. It's so cutesy, though.
Yeah, it does. It feels like Snow Brothers.
I'm getting a big Alex Kidd energy. Is what I'm getting from
sure.
All right, wasn't fast enough.
So
maybe now.
The classic thing of an arcade game is that it is designed to take your money, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this as a game that is like killing you really fast as compared to, say, Pitfall 1 or the other versions of Pitfall 2? Because it doesn't seem to me like it's actually much more murderous than just basic Pitfall.
Yeah. Damn it. It controls worse, and like Pitfall doesn't control great, but it has a feel.
Okay.
And this feel is different and also worse. So that makes it feel worse to me.
Well, no, you're describing it as worse.
And I don't think Pitfall. Certainly not Pitfall 2, but especially Pitfall 1. Even Pitfall 1, I don't think is trying to murder you and steal your quarters, they already got your quarters, right? So it's...
Yeah.
Look at me do
Effortless.
that. I did
Fucking
that thing.
effortless. Nice double jump.
His jump is real stupid.
Yeah, the fact that there's no animation, he just goes back to the neutral sprite for it. Oh, wow.
Okay.
And there's no like I stepped in water sprite or anything. You just die on the surface of the water. That's a pretty bad game, in my opinion.
Pretty bad game. This is on par with the NES game as far as like terrible Pitfall games.
Okay, I'm gonna take us back to the cave.
Okay.
It feels like a short version of the thing. It feels like a short phase 1 today, but I don't know. I think it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Here's
fine.
the thing, I don't have any fucking ability to time. You know, I just can't do it. And we're gonna talk about stuff today. This is I should maybe have written up a little text thing to be on the screen. This is like, hey, don't freak out. This is what we're doing on purpose. Let me put on some copyright-free backing music a little bit here. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit today before we get into phase 2 proper. On like phase 1.5.
All right.
Because like things have been, I'm not happy with the way things have been around here, and I don't necessarily so much feel like I owe an explanation, although I do to some degree feel like I owe an explanation. But I do feel like, I don't know, I just want to let people know what's going on, kind of like, I want to let people know why there's so many fewer videos the last while, and also some of it is I want to vent.
Okay.
So this is not an apology, but also it's me just like getting to yell about it for a couple of minutes. So hopefully that's all sensible. I'm gonna put a text scroll across the screen that says I'm ranting. Just so that I feel better, so that there's something happening on screen and people know that it's on purpose.
Okay.
How do you do this? How do you make these move again? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever this is gonna do. So here's the deal. Rant mode engaged. Okay. There has not been a lot of video output on the channel. Last week especially, I really like... And I do want to start with, like, an apology seems like the wrong thing, but I am not doing a good job at my job, I feel like. And I am upset about that, if not sorry, at the very least. I am sorry, but I am more than I'm sorry. I'm upset because I'm having a really hard time managing everything. And when you say everything, it's like, what even is that? Because don't you just sit around and play video games all day? And so this is not like a State of the Union address, but it is a little bit of a little bit of a sort of like a life update kind of thing, which is going to enable me to explain all the things I want to explain and also yell about all the things I want to yell about. And then we're going to play the other video game. Then we're going to get to phase 2 is coming. There's more TR49. I want to get back to it. Y'all want to get back to it. That's going to happen. So, in order to tell this story, we have to go back to the dawn of time. A couple of years ago, I started suffering some new health issues. And y'all who have been around here for long enough and who have been listening to my ass yammer for long enough, I know that I have a lot of sort of chronic stuff, neurological stuff that is not great. My sleep has always been very fucked, and that obviously has a lot of knock-on effects in a human life. But and then there's the trans thing and the anxiety disorder and the crippling depression that turned out probably not to be crippling depression, but rather a symptom of the intense depersonalization that I was going through because of the trans thing, and is mostly cleared up at this point. But yeah, all that stuff aside, I started to something went wrong with my back, and something went wrong with my hip within a couple of months of each other, like 2 years ago. And the sort of like the long and the part of that is hereditary stuff. My family's always had, the women in my family have always had a lot of hip problems. I don't really know what's going on with my father's side of the family medically, because my father was estranged from his entire family for the entirety of my life, at the very least. He is not a very pleasant dude, and him being estranged from people is the least surprising thing about him. So I don't, but the knock-on effect is I don't know if there are health problems in his family, because we never knew anyone from his family except for him. So between what's wrong with my hip and what's wrong with my spine, it progressed pretty quickly to the point where basically I can barely walk. I don't know how much I've talked about this on the channel, but for about probably 2 years now, or maybe longer. One thing we figured out at the doctor's office is that I am very bad at remembering how long, whatever, it's not. For some time now, probably at least 2 years, I've been barely able to walk. I can't go to the grocery store. I can get around inside the house, but I can't stand up for more than about 10 minutes at a time without pretty severe back pain, and I can't walk but 30 or 40 feet at a time. I've probably mentioned it in videos, but it's not super relevant to my ability to play video games. I can still totally play video games. You would think. So many of them. I'd probably be pretty bad at DDR at this point. A corollary, a sort of knock-on effect of that, is that over the last 2 years I gained a bunch of weight, because it turns out if you can't move around but you don't dramatically reduce your calorie intake, if you don't really change your diet the moment that starts happening, there's a lot of calorie in that's no longer calorie outing. My main form of exercise used to be that I would go for long walks all the time. I was walking a couple miles a day for most of my 20s and 30s, and then that just stopped. So I gained a bunch of weight, and that's that's whatever it is. I'm not super happy about it, but all of this stuff happened kind of I came out as trans, right? I discovered that I was trans. I came out as trans very quickly after I discovered it. And then a necessary part of that, as any trans person will tell you, is I had to do a lot of sort of wrestling with my self-image, and in my case, because the major manifestation of my gender dysphoria was extreme depersonalization, I had a self-image for the first time. I am today, just nearly 5 years into having a self-conception and being able to imagine myself as a person. That is, it sounds crazy to say it, but it's if anything, it's understating the degree of change. Yeah. And I'm sure that's difficult for people to understand. But to be sort of in the infancy of this process of learning to love my self-conception, learning to not just associate the person I see in the mirror with myself on an emotional level, because obviously intellectually I know that's me, but and we've talked about my mirror thing, I know, in videos on the channel before, but I used to be very afraid of looking into mirrors for very long, because I was worried that the person in the mirror would do things that I was not doing, because so being in the infancy of that process, and then having my body just like learning to love my body and like associate myself with my body, and then have my body go like full revolt on me and sort of like trap me, and it's been very, very difficult. Also, another complicating factor here is I have like crippling social anxiety. I'm really, really, really bad at talking to strangers. And there's lots of jokes about millennials and their ability to like talk on the phone or whatever. But it's so hard for me to like make a phone call to a stranger or to and I promise I'm not going to cry all through this. I swear. But so around the same time, my doctor retired. Of course, right as my health started getting really bad, my doctor retired. My doctor got pregnant and left the medical industry to go be a mother, and that's fucking that's thumbs up for her. Cool for her. I'm so happy for her. Really bad timing for me, because it meant the doctor that I got shunted to at that clinic, oh boy, was a lot worse and meaner. And I think my guess, based on another thing or two that I saw while I was there, my guess is that I got bumped to a doctor who was not particularly cool with trans people. And the treatment I received was partially related to that. But like when I say the treatment I received, I mean like I was trying to talk to him about my hip problem, and my good doctor had sent me for X-rays, right? So I went to another place and I got X-rays. The American medical system is a fucking nightmare to navigate. Everything is 20 different visits, and nobody can ever do the thing you need. It's all, I'll give you a referral to the guy who will give you a referral to the guy who will give you a referral. But eventually I managed to actually get my legs X-rayed. And then I come back to the clinic, and this new doctor, he's just like, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't find your X-rays. I don't know. And just like that was it. That was the end of it. I don't know. Not, I'll keep looking, or we'll contact you when I figure out how to do my job. And then in the middle of the visit, while I was explaining to him about, my edema, the experiencing some swelling in my legs and stuff, he just gets up and walks out. He gets up and says, "You need physical therapy," and walks out of the office mid-sentence and just leaves the door open. And that's kind of like, the doctor leaving the door open when they leave is kind of like code for the visit's over. Now you can go. But like that didn't seem right. So I kind of sat there stunned for a couple of seconds, and I like leaned my head out and looked out in the hallway. He was gone, but there was a nurse out there, and I was like, am I done, or is he coming back? And she said, "I don't think he's coming back." And so I left, but obviously that's not super helpful. So I had to find a new doctor, and finding a new doctor, due to my extreme social anxiety and all the difficulty with phone calls and stuff, finding a new doctor took a while. This is not a good time to be looking for medical care as a trans person in the United States of America. In case that was a thing that was not clear, people in the U.S. are probably a little bit aware of the stuff that's going on with trans people in the United States are probably a lot more aware. And I know there are some of y'all out there in the audience. I am, by the way, not looking at chat at all. It's the only way I can get through this. My anxiety's running real high right now, even just talking. I
can tell.
I hate sounding like I'm complaining, and I hate sounding like I'm I don't want to feel like I'm trying to get away with something, and I don't, and I'm not, but it's,
Well, sweet.
Mentally it's very difficult to get over.
Yeah.
Anyway, so not a good time to be looking for medical treatment. A lot of clinics and stuff have formally withdrawn their trans medicine programs and stuff due to threats from the physical government. And when I say threats from the physical government, I'm talking about everything from will yank back all your federal funding, without which no clinic in the in the country could stay open because of how fucked the financial system is here, up to there will be men in jackboots at your door. Like, everybody's very aware of the fucking full fascist takeover of the government, and the fact that trans people are, although not the main targets of violence right this second, still very much on the docket. I've just in the past couple of weeks, I've heard government officials saying things like, trans medicine is violent and dangerous and needs to be outlawed for all ages, and trans people cannot be allowed to own guns, and yeah, not a good time to be poking your head above the parapet as a trans person in America at the moment. But I found a service, and they're not sponsoring us, but I guess I'll go ahead and say it because it helped me. ZocDoc.com. I was recommended from an evasive video that lets you find a doctor and figure out all the relevant stuff and make an appointment online, totally online, without having to interact with another person, with a stranger while you're doing it. And that is the only reason I was able to make a doctor's appointment. But I had that doctor's appointment last week, and that did not go well. She is very... It makes me sound like a little kid to be like, the doctor was mean to me. But the doctor was fucking mean to me, y'all.
She was mean, yeah. I was there. I can vouch.
Yeah, the doctor was fucking mean to me, and it's that just doesn't help with all the other stuff. I don't want to sound like a child about it, but it's on top of everything else. It's just like, couldn't you be nice though? Like, wouldn't it have been cool to have some bedside manner? She's very, very fixated on the weight and not listening to me. And like, well, your joint problems are because of your weight. And I'm like, no, the joint problems caused the weight gain. I didn't have the weight when the joint problems started. I know that it's not because of the weight, and she's not. So that's been a whole thing. And I've been, dealing with new medications, and I have a big fucking stack of phone calls I have to make here for referral stuff tomorrow. So that stress is weighing on me. But so all this time I've still been dealing with all of the health problems I used to have, and also now I have all this new shit. And the fascist takeover of the American government, and the shit that's happening in, LA and Minneapolis and all of the places where our federal government is fucking kidnapping people and renditioning them to concentration camps, from which most of them will never return. It's just, I've not been dealing with it very well. And I know that that's a real fucking, compared to all of the other suffering that's going on, it's fucking wild for a white person who has a steady home situation to be like, well, it's making me sad. But it's fucking,
it is a lot.
Yeah, my cortisol levels are fucked, y'all. And it isn't nothing. And it's hard for me to look myself in the face and be like, no, actually it's okay to be fucked up. This is bad, and you are living through something hard. Again, especially because the moment to moment of my life is pretty good. Yeah, I can't walk, but I don't need to or want to. Most of the time I would like to be sitting down playing video games. I don't know. I would really like to walk sometimes.
Yeah, I'd like to go on walks with you, and
I'd like to be able to go to the grocery store myself instead of having to send you. I'd like to be able to.
Yeah.
I want to go to the zoo. I want to fucking go to the library. So output on the channel has been bad for a while. This last week I got 4 videos out, which is fucking pathetic. It's miserable. But And it's not even all that I recorded. Like I spent probably 4 hours last night. I recorded the first episode of Routine. We're going to do a series on the game Routine. It's a pretty short game, and it seems neat.
Oh, you got to work.
Well, so I did part of the episode, and I noticed that OBS was throwing up a lot of encoding errors. So I paused it and watched back the footage, and sure enough, it's very like weird and hitchy. So I made some changes and then recorded the rest of the episode with the new changes, and I fixed it. I made it good. I made it record good. But my usual method of joining two files is, for some reason, returning an unusable output file. And I'm not sure why. So I spent like 3 or 4 hours troubleshooting that, trying to figure out what's wrong with my video editing method that is producing a file that won't play. Because I need a file that will play to upload it to the internet. That's one of the core things about the files is they have to be watchable. And I have a couple episodes. I have a couple more episodes of Phoenix Point like finished and uploaded already, but I don't want to just like dump. I don't know. This shit doesn't matter to anybody else, but in my head, there's like a schedule and the videos cycle. And so I don't want to just like, if I have 3 episodes of Phoenix Point, I don't want to just be like, here's this stuff. I want to interweave it with the other videos so that people know the series are still going on. I don't know. None of this shit matters to anybody but me, I'm sure. But it does matter to me. And that's allowed to matter. I hate to sound like
That does matter. Yeah.
I hate to sound defensive because I think that a thing that I do is I dismiss myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm arguing with myself about dismissing myself, it makes it sound like I'm arguing. It makes it sound like I'm arguing with somebody else. Like I don't want to be like, no, listen, it's important. What I'm saying is important. Like insisting on myself when what I'm really doing is I'm trying to just like talk myself out of the self-deprecation. You know?
Yeah, and I would love to have you do that because.
So I'm trying to get to the part where I don't do the self-dismissal in the first place. That's the healthy way to do it. I just can't. I'm not there yet.
It's hard.
And all this time I've not been in therapy. I lost my therapist and I need a new therapist, and it's got the same problem as the other problems where I need to make phone calls and fucking I should really be in therapy. Being in therapy was very helpful.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm miserable and I'm on a bunch of new medications and I'm living through, global right-wing takeover of world governments, and it's not making it very easy for me to make my stupid little video game videos, which I can't stop myself from going, oh, my stupid little video game videos. But like this shit is important to me, and it's.
It's important to me too.
Like I said, this is not an apology. I wanted to very consciously not couch this as an apology because it's not an apology. It's kind of just like letting people know where I'm at and hopefully making some kind of sense of the schedule and why things have been the way they have been. But also I needed to rant. Also, I just need to blow up some fucking steam because I am having a nightmare over here. Having just a terrible time. And I can't sleep and I can't walk and my joints are turning on me and I feel trapped in my body sometimes. And, sometimes it's all I can do to not just scream and pound on the refrigerator. And the biggest reason that I don't do that is because I'm afraid if I start, I would never stop. Anyway, a friend of mine crocheted me some very adorable rats. And they're sitting on my desk right now, these little stuffed rats that she made, and they're cheering me up, and that's nice. Oh. Okay, I am looking over at chat for the first time since I started rant mode.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? I apologize. I know several people came into the stream during phase 1 and stuff and said, hope y'all are having a great day. And I apologize for not having a great day. I 100% for sure thought it was Saturday today. Can I be honest? Like, I went to bed last night thinking it was going to be Saturday when I woke up. Is how fucking out of sorts I am. When Amabel was like, hey, it's stream time. Are you good to go? I was like, what? No, I had things planned. I need there to be a day. So anyway, I lost a whole day in my week. I don't know how that happened. Let me blow my nose real quick here, and then I'll be present.
While she's doing that, hi chat. Thank you for the things you're saying, and yeah, it's
Okay, sorry, I'm here. I'm back.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't do a very good job stalling. I tried, but
you're fine. You had the least. You were the person who was most put out by all of this because you had no preparation. You did not know this was going to happen. Just like I dumped this co-hosting this duty on you out of nowhere.
That's okay. It's sometimes,
I see Cornflake saying, I'm on the other side of the planet and stressed out by what's going on at your end. Yeah, fair enough. That's another part of it is like, I feel shitty as an American complaining about it because like, I'm arguably more at fault than most, than people from other countries. Like, obviously I voted for the other person in the election. But it's hard to be like a citizen of the empire, somebody who's living on the Death Star and just like a commissary worker or something and being like, I just think this whole situation's a real bummer. Like, I want y'all to know that the Americans we don't fucking like it either. And I don't want to get on a whole thing about...
A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't.
I don't want to get on a whole thing about this, but I don't think the majority of...
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for the kind words. Silas is saying the Reyes 2 series has been the highlight of my last month and a half. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that people are digging it. I think that game is amazing. And I don't think there's anything else like it. And I'm really, except for the first game, obviously. I think it's really cool that they're continuing to pump stuff out. The playlists for it have been really fucky. I fixed them all last night. But I know that the playlists have been weird, and I went through and I repaired every playlist by hand last night because somebody posted on the subreddit about it. YouTube is still fucking with the playlists. The playlist behavior is still changing without my knowledge or consent. So I am fixing them. I'm fixing it when I catch that it's changing. So apologies for that. Apologies for places that it's weird. Kafir says it's part of getting old. You go past 40, shit goes down. Yeah, no, you are absolutely right. I turned 40 and it was like almost on the dot. My body was just like, by the way, fuck you. It is really rough. I am 41 right now, and it is almost perfectly timed to me turning 40 that things started going really sideways. It's like in a cartoon, when you see that in The Simpsons or something, like you see that something's about to hit its warranty date. The moment the warranty is up, all of a sudden it just explodes.
Yeah.
Tyrio says, I know it doesn't help, but there's absolutely nothing to apologize for here. You're a genuinely awesome person from what I've seen. I'd like to echo what others have said about the videos. First of all, that's very kind. Thank you so much, everybody who's being very kind right now. Like I said, I don't want it to come across as an apology. It is an apology, and I can't stop that, trans women and apologizing trans women apologizing for absolutely everything, right? Find me a more iconic duo. But like a huge amount of this was me just wanting to like scream about it. I just need to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
So this was more vent than apology. But I would be lying if I said it wasn't 0% apology. Yeah. Okay. So, thank you very much, everybody. I want to now stop talking about me. So we're gonna move into phase 3 proper here. I'm gonna launch the video game. We're gonna play some TR49.
TR49.
Provided that it works this week.
And, yeah. And we're going to start. I'm gonna tell you where we're going to start.
Rant mode disengaged. Look at this. Whoosh. Get that out of there. All right, let me flip the switches over here that I need to flip in order for this thing to become TR49 time. Boom. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to TR49. And welcome to phase 2 of the stream where we play the video game just a little bit further into the stream than we usually get to it. Okay, so sorry, Amabel. What was it you were just saying?
I'm saying that we wanted to try to track down the daughter of the thing. The daughter of the
right, that daughter
publisher.
reference, yeah.
And that was it. I went back to the previous stream, and that's in a note from Cecil in AJ27. Also, can you stream the game to me, please?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Did you say AJ or HA?
A as in apple.
Okay.
J as in.
Okay. AJ.
Jack off.
Yep. Good. 27.
27. And then it's the
Cecil note.
The set, yeah, which is CC11, I think.
Yeah, that part I remember. Oh, I didn't let the page load all the way, so I went to the page for Cecil.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of the machine here. Silas, I really do appreciate that. Thank you. That's very kind. I don't know what to say except that I really appreciate everybody's help.
Okay, now there's the note. Okay, wait,
is there? There's no note on this.
Wait, was it not AJ20? Did I write that down wrong?
Maybe you wrote it down wrong.
Ah, okay. AJ27. Huh. Well, I don't.
Okay. I love you.
No, I went back and looked at the video and I wrote it down. How did I get that wrong? Oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
Try AJ26?
Yeah. All right. Let's jump over to 26. We'll see.
I come to the home of rational thought. Let's begin with a number example.
Big spooky eye. There is a Cecil note on this one.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this looks like it might be right. Here we go.
Yeah, perhaps his daughter, but it didn't. She wrote a short, rather angry pamphlet on the subject 2 years after he passed. Okay.
On a Life Unlived.
All right then.
And yeah, that is okay. So On a Life Unlived is the thing that we would have to track down.
But
I don't remember exactly what our plan was for approaching this. So his daughter, Monsieur Latour. Do we have a person whose last name is Latour who we don't have? So here's part of the problem. She could have a different last name by the end of her life, right?
Right.
So it might not be as simple as someone else with the last name Latour.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. Can you go back? So 1970. That's the issue published a year before he died, which is 71. So we know it's going to be that the other thing is going to be 73. So we know the numbers at least. Because 2 years after he passed, she writes this pamphlet.
Yeah.
So it's 7-3.
Well, hold on a second.
We don't have
hold on.
the.
We hadn't noted the last issue the year before he died. I think we should probably make a note of this real quick.
Okay.
The moon landing did not cause an ice age due to orbital shift. Pierre Latour's great prediction from issue 36 has failed.
Academicalist's Journal, issue 36.
Pierre Latour's reputation for wisdom was in tatters. He skipped 69, I didn't, and came back with this one last issue, issue 37. He talks about how much things have changed since the periodical began. It's true, witchcraft has all but died out in favor of cold science. Latour, now 72, was already ill. He died the next year.
Academicalist's Journal,
Okay, so hang on.
So this goes here.
Academicalist's Journal, issue 37.
He was what? He was what age? He was 72.
Yeah, hold on, I'm completing the process here.
I would like to point out
So he's 72 in 70. He was born in 1898.
in the scientific community, it is way too soon to say we are safe, whatever that is even supposed to mean.
We still have a lot of like the line of tracking down the issues of an academicalist journal that we can follow.
Right. But would that then PL98 be his author code?
Perhaps. Let me.
Sure. Yeah, I'll hold on to that. I wrote it down.
No. Let's follow that first because I think it's really easy to come back to the academicalist journal stuff. So yeah.
A life lived in wartime.
He wrote a book that we have not encountered at all yet.
Okay, and it
But there's
seems
not
like
really
the
a lot of
title-
other cool information here, like.
Yeah, but it does seem like the title is the title of the daughter's pamphlet is, a response to Life Unlived. Life
Yeah,
Lived in Wartime.
on a life
So-
unlived.
So that's something.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I don't know why I jumped back. I know what I want to put in. Ursula Latour. Okay, here we go. Pierre Latour, editor-in-chief, knew for certain the coming moon landing would cause the end of life on Earth. But will he publish again next year? Issue 36 is fire and brimstone throughout. There's a weirdly funereal photograph of Latour with his 26-year-old daughter Ursula getting her doctorate from Oxford. Both look furious. Okay, so that gives us Ursula's birth date. The last page is given to Dorothea Pemberton, a full recounting from her first publication in 1896 through her death in 1911 to her later communications. Okay, so first
Okay,
thing, we gotta connect this to... Wait, didn't we click on... Yeah, here. This is-
Academicalist's Journal,
looking right past
issue 36.
Okay, so we gotta do this to get that to lock in.
And Arton writes with such force and passion. It is hard to remember. She was very ill all of her life. And when she writes about her illness, it is with such force as though she's constraining herself to it. From an early age, she constructed this most tragic narrative, and then she committed to it unrelenting, almost gleefully.
Okay, so Ursula's birthday is
43. So UL 43 her, and then
Yeah.
UL 73 would be her pamphlet. Okay.
disagree.
Well, never
That's
mind.
interesting.
Wait, that note's from 1969. The thing was published in what year?
Oh, yeah. The publication date was 68, so it should be UL 42.
Yeah, 42.
Yeah, good point.
They skipped 69.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the only thing that's on here is that she published on Life Unlived. That's not useful.
Which is UL 73, I believe.
Let's just go go ahead and match this.
On a life unlived.
My father was an imbecile. Imagine living with that inside your genetic code, and knowing nothing you ever do will get rid of it.
A short, violently angry pamphlet aimed by its author at all fathers everywhere who have the temerity to ignore the needs of their children, having troubled themselves to father them. I feel some of that. I get some of that heat. It lays out, point by point, a series of crimes committed by the author's father against her own person. Most of these crimes come down to negligence. It seems that Monsieur Latour was so busy editing his journal and discoursing with its contributors that he paid little attention to his own daughter, her development, and her needs. With the lack of a mother, thanks to the war, though you wouldn't know it if you read her father's account of the period published the year after he died, the 31-year-old author declares every one of her own failures and then lays it firmly at her father's feet. The pamphlet itself ran 500 copies and was sent out to the mailing addresses of subscribers to her father's journal. That's pretty funny. My understanding is the one in my library is now one of only a score that were not destroyed as preposterous nonsense. Miss you, Dad. Okay, so that gives us the date of his thing, right?
Yeah, it should be PL-72.
Yeah.
Should be his book.
So PL-72 for A Life Lived in Wartime.
I'm not saying I was the greatest hero in all of France, but France was certainly glad to have me.
Jesus Christ.
Both with our guns and with our words, removing obstacles from our path with a clever stroke of a pen.
Boy, this guy. I can get how you would, as this guy's kid, get real fucking tired of his ass. And I do want to say just one more time to people in chat, offering all kinds of support and everything. That is so sweet, and it means a lot to me. We're I don't want to say okay. If it comes time to do something drastic, we have a direction in which to do that. So I do appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. And if it comes down to, oh my God, we need desperate help, I will fucking let people know. Let me tell you. For the moment, we're okay, I think.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I guess I should have said this at the end of that, but I did mention I have this stack of referrals, which is like a bunch of phone calls to strangers I have to make, and it's stressing me out. So some horrible thing. Every one of these is like a potential solution to a problem that I'm facing. So like, I'm going to get new x-rays. I'm going to get a new endocrinology referral. I'm going to we're working on things, and hopefully things are on the way to getting better in a way that has not been true previously. Progress. It's just the progress also is very stressful, but the things are on the way up, hopefully for my health in the short term. Anyway.
Yeah.
In the medium term, maybe is more appropriate. Oh, sweetie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to be so emotionally stressful and difficult for you.
No, sweetie, it's...
Yeah.
Don't... You're fine.
Okay.
You have to be able to express this stuff, okay?
Yeah. I know, and I agree with you.
Read the screen to us.
Okay. I love you very much. So this is Pierre Latour's wartime memoir. Funny, tragic, and vainglorious. Showcases the power and genius of the Academicalist's Journal's founder and editor-in-chief. Radio smuggling, railway sabotage, the kidnap and torture of Germany's rank and file, interspersed with notes of secret meetings with DME researchers still active during the occupation years. The principle of DME, he claims, was perfected by his resistance cell. No evidence, of course. He says Kendrick's work was weaponized by a young woman in their inner circle. Her identity is unstated, but the machine has made that secret very clear to me. Interesting. Liz's code is AL12, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not clear to me, but then she published an account of it last year, Confession Day, under her maiden name, of course. Now the husband is dead.
Confession Day.
A young woman in our
That's-
inner
that's
circle
gonna be-
under her maiden name.
It's going to be something 80, but we don't know what the.
Yeah. So this is where I wish we could write down, like, actually write some notes, because
Yeah.
I would like to write like XX80 here.
Well, I've written that down
Okay,
for a confession.
That's-
confessionally.
good. I love you, but like, just thinking
Okay,
of
yeah.
just thinking of the way some of the things about the La Mulata series are going notes wise. Just I would like to
Okay,
also.
but look, this is 2 numbers or 2 letters, or that's
Yeah.
a little different.
Anyway, so if you don't have anywhere else for us to run right now, I think I'm just going to keep running down issues of the Academic List Journal for the moment.
Yeah, can you real quick? Can you go through the names that we have that are the author names that are not Church of Patient Christ, Kendrick?
Yeah, we have a Kendrick who is mentioned in this issue as having created the theory behind something that was then put into practice by this woman.
Okay,
Of course, have
that's
called
something
away.
yeah. All right.
I reckon we're going to be able to track down a fair number of these, but it's important to remember that there's going to be some serious breakage on the year stuff. We can absolutely brute force that, though.
Built the quantum state storage system.
Of course, dear
Okay.
Cecil. Dorothea Pemberton.
Okay, I don't remember her very much.
Yeah, my memory of her is a little shoddy as well. Having broken the stream up and the gameplay into a couple of pieces a week apart is not ideal. We still need to figure out this Rampage stuff. Never really tracked down, but we'll get to it.
Did we try Alfred Lord Tennyson, AT? What is his birth year?
Yes.
We did try that. Okay.
Yeah, it was 98, right?
1809.
Oh, no. Yeah, so, sorry, 90 is the other one.
So we did try 1809.
Yeah, I believe I had... Yeah.
Okay. Then,
Because as soon as you confirmed that it was him, I went to his Wikipedia page and started just punching in
Okay.
dates.
all right.
So...
yeah, go ahead and run things then.
Okay, so the last one we have is issue 2 in 27. So let's see where the breakage happens. Okay, there was no issue in 28. It's also possible that they're not all recorded in the machine, right?
Yeah.
All right, Alfonso had written a masterpiece 4 years before, so we're told. God and Witchcraft reconciled under the title My God, He Dances.
My God, he dances.
I can't find it anywhere. It's only mentioned here. Must have been banned. AJ tries out DME to see if it fits. There was a book of notes, it seemed, published by Lemachante's widow in the year he died. They talk about the ink he used on the paper. Issue number 16 has a little more on the subject. Huh. So this is journal number 5. So they're not all in the machine. Because 3 and 4 we put in the correct dates for and they didn't come up. And see, this is again a little bit of a frustrating break. Is like I can't, even though we know this is number 5 because we can see it, it won't let me make the note.
Until we get yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Alfonso. Okay, AJ32. If things hold, yeah, I was gonna say we've had references to issue 7, so I was figuring this would probably work. All right. A woman loses her child in a crowded street, only to take home a dog in its place. A man forgets his speech, adopting an antediluvian tongue. A small city in England, Tarnsbridge, is gone, forgotten. Reports grow weird as the Second War looms. It brings confusion, but the machine cuts through all that. And then, picking up from issue number 5, DME, the Academicalist Journal doesn't know it for what it is. It mentions Pemberton, then Xavier Youngman, then claims one died in the other's arms. That must be the wrong way around, surely. They were roommates, Amabel.
They were roommates.
She was born the year he died. See issue number 36. She could only be his returning soul. Oh. Okay, hold on. That's fascinating. Let me tag some tags here. This is right, and also this is right.
Issue 5?
Writing is powerful, and he's also wonders what power she might have needed if it had not destroyed her.
So, Pemberton, then Xavier Youngman, claims one died in the other's arms. She was born the year he died. Must be the wrong way around, surely. This is. I don't quite know what to make of this, but this is like very obviously very significant.
Yeah.
Do I need to? Yeah, we need to pop back to AJ30 to get it to lock in. There we go.
What a man, what a thinker, what a dreamer.
Okay, so
Human being.
we get a red dot anywhere that there's something we haven't locked in yet, I guess. Like we don't know the name of this author,
Okay.
right? Alfonso, I'm assuming is why there's a red dot here, because we don't know. So
Writing is powerful, and
it does seem like we're probably not going to hit a ton of juice just typing in AJ numbers between here and 70, but also it's a pretty fast thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna push it. Reading JS31 made me seek out issue number 10 of Academicalist Journal to get PL's take on it.
Academicalist Journal, issue 10.
He says Silverton should become Kendrick's butler since he will be waiting on his every word regardless. There's no explanation for why Silverton lost it. Maybe the LR recovered it at some point, or maybe the LR covered it at some point, and then this is
It's literary review as LR.
yeah. LR 53 has the details. Okay, that's very interesting. Let me jump over there real quick just to get a recording of that. Years of hard debunking has left LR jaded, but sometimes they get a juicy bone to gnaw. Volume number 44 details how Kendrick's research was stolen in the late 20s when the professor had an inappropriate affair with a student.
Still there? Can you hear me?
Again with this. Hey, I'm working, dog. The man has no shame. In the shadow of a passage, he spills it, garters and all.
In the
That is a
shadow
title.
of a passage.
That is a title that we did not have yet.
Literary Review, Volume 40. Literary Review, Volume 44?
Yes, Kendrick was known for his quick wit and roving eye. But what was less well known was that he was a sucker punch if you smiled at him. The first woman to figure this out was Emma Mayflower, and she took him to the cleaners.
Kendrick doesn't point the finger at who was the mastermind behind the theft. The review does. Joshua Silverton.
Up top.
They celebrate this in volume
The road
50.
straight past.
They celebrate this in Volume 50 as a historical event of timeline significance. Here come the 60s.
Literary Review, Volume 50.
So if we were to extend the dates that we have right now, yeah, 50 would be in 59. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good thing Calderley hid this machine in the basement of a church. Churches are the one place these bastards never go.
So in the Shadow of Passage, we are to take this as something that was written by Kendrick, yes? The way this paragraph is written?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's Joshua Silverton who stole his work.
All right then.
Is that something that she's made note of? Rivalry with Kendrick is maybe not quite the level of detail that I would like, but at least they're making some kind of note of it.
You know, it seems like when you have beef with Kendrick, it doesn't go well for you. So we'll see how that goes.
One of my favorite things, I don't remember what the context of this was. It was like I turned on somebody's stream briefly during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay.
It was like a goon was like restreaming the Super Bowl or something, and I saw somebody in chat, like somebody who was maybe encountering the song for the first time. I don't know, like it's weird, but during the Super Bowl halftime show, saying in a Twitch chat, "Hey, yeah, why is Drake like that?" Anyway, I think, to be perfectly honest, I don't want to like talk out of turn. Obviously, this is not my field. Although, you know, maybe people in the chat, people who are fans of the show, do not know how much I love rap music and listen to rap music. But I think that whole thing going the way it did has somewhat less to do with Kendrick's mastery, not to deflate him at all, and something more to do with the fact that Drake is just like has made himself the easiest fucking target over the past like decade or so. This has done everything in his power to make himself so takedownable. Sorry. Anyway,
I was at the mall with a older relative, and the song was on the radio in the mall.
Literary Review, Volume 50.
And she was like, "Wait, what is this song about?" It's wild. It's wild that was such radio play for what it is.
Showing what ought to be made.
and like you're talking about somebody who's like extremely out of touch. It's like 90% of the people in the mall just kind of like going about their day and humming to themselves, probably A minor. I don't get. If I were Drake, I would just have fucking folded up shop. He has the money. He doesn't need to keep releasing music. And that album he put out was not good. Okay, I'm getting off track here. So anyway, Literary Review number 50, published in 1959. Volume number 50 sets out a new mission for the review. No more spiritualism, no more talking to the dead with candles and smoke. 1900 values are out. From now on, it's all about science and talking to the dead with telephones and radio sets. Then they start tearing apart the mystics, and first in line, my HP 56. A cheap copy. Well, it's true enough. But I'll live on. They might celebrate, but so can I. This archive's hit a milestone. I'll make a separate entry for that under CC. Interesting. The machine is 10 years old today. Recent editions, XY 78, extremely old. Z, signed edition of IA's Rampage Swords in the Dark. The machine is improving, slowly but steadily. It is more thoughtful in its associations. The truth approaches. As Dorothea Pemberton wrote in her 96 Walk, I see through the walls. Printed pages, all of them. What manner of thing would the mind be had the principle of writing never been discovered? A comes back in 1975, 16 years later, to note, I am thunderstruck. The machine informs me that the signature on my copy of IA-33 matches that on JS-38. Okay, so obviously there's a lot to track down here. Let's start with XY-78. Xavier Youngman wrote Matter in the Dark.
Dark.
Like he was guessing. He writes this book like he knows, but for him, it is too late. If only I could live again, he bemoans. What might I show the world? What I might show the world. Pemberton swears this volume changed her life. How she found it is unclear. How does an obscure academic work end up in a child's bookshelf after 18 years? I think she's mistaken, modest, or hiding something. I think Dorothea was the genius, and Youngman the talented amateur. And pretty quickly afterward, Beatrice leaves. The machine has been behaving very oddly since this book was fed in. It must have given it strange dreams, like Cheese does to Cecil. So this is Matter in the Dark, right?
Well, no, he wrote Matter in the Dark like he was guessing. He writes this
book like he knows. Okay, yeah. So, okay, but Xavier Youngman, so we didn't have a name for Xavier before. Or we didn't have a last name, right?
No, I think we had...
Okay. So he's got another work somewhere else. This is written later. And notice again, this is another work with the cracked symbol at the top. Did you make a note of where that other one was?
The other I don't think I.
I wish I was paying more attention, because I can't say for sure that I've never necessarily even seen every time this has been true.
Yeah. No, I didn't make. I'll make a note with this one.
Lana the Witch in chat says, "My God, he dances." It's such a banging title for a book about witchcraft. In contrast to Divinity, though, yeah, it really is.
Can you go back to the previous?
The last page?
Yeah. So DP96.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right. That's one of the things that we wanted to... Dorothea Pemberton was a genius, a visionary, and a very ill 15-year-old when In My Dreams was written. Her ideas lived longer than she did. Silverton used them in 29, or supposedly he did. I have suspicions, but I need to source a copy so the machine can confirm. I think Pemberton also met Quentin Lemarchand. A few years before her death in 1911, she was sent to France for the heirs. But she wrote only that one last essay. Can't be sure. So... Sorry, I gotta get back to the page where I do the things. Wait.
I don't think we have the title.
But isn't the title given here?
No, so that's In My Dreams, and it's something called Walk.
Yeah, something with Walk in the title. I thought for sure we had.
We didn't get a whole title. Oh, there's a thing here.
Remember Irrationals.
I've spoken to the greatest mind of our generation. I am assured of just one thing.
Have we been to Lemarchand's paper published in 11? Oh yeah, Astral Perplexities, right? Okay.
Aggregate of all observations made by all systems, including those of conscious beings.
It's getting to be a lot of stuff to keep straight, you know?
Yeah. How are you enjoying that?
I like it. I'm having a great time so far. I'm having a great time with this game. Wait, was this
Academicalist's Journal, issue 10?
Because we were at 35, weren't we? Yeah, no, that should be right.
35, yeah. Oh,
Sorry, I should have locked this in. So let me lock this in. I'm getting all distracted. Okay, there we go. What was JS31? Total rubbish, that's what it is. After the success of Quantum Conceptuals in Nature,
Quantum Conceptual
Silverton looks like he's drowning, so
Nature.
it's another Silverton book from earlier. Is this the work of another writer completely, or was the last one? I'll have to find his first paper to be sure, but he was barely done with his degree when he wrote it. I don't have high hopes. Issue number 10 of Academicalist Journal covered it, I think. Otherwise, I must redouble my efforts to find Kendrick's 1932 work.
Right, because Silverton was supposed to have stolen Kendrick's work.
Yeah. And we don't have another name for Kendrick.
No, not yet.
Something K32. Again, not super hard to brute force. Right?
Yeah. AK-32 stands for Assault Kendrick 32.
So see, I think this is a case where like this is just part of the operation of the machine, and I think this is probably at least partially an intended path. Oops, that's not how you do that. That's not how you type. Oh. Well, here we go. Kendrick's first publication on dark matter and its perception is heavy, intense, reminiscent of Silverton's 1929 work, but more ambitious. Then Kendrick goes mad, follows it up with a novel, PK-36. Didn't realize it was fiction. Issue number 16 of the Academicalist Journal said it was eye-opening. Idiots or perceptive? After that issue, they shut down for the remainder of the occupation. Okay, so after issue 16 is where the numbering is going to break. That's
okay.
Cool information. This doesn't really help us that much then, for the moment.
Well, hang on. So, yeah, BK-36.
The title is a reference to JA-13, not to dark matter or anything else. Story's alright. Angry, things keep going missing, being stolen, the protagonist is wronged over and over. Kendrick, at 47, seems to know for certain the path he's on. See reviews of this year's novel. There was a sequel the year after. So we expect PK-37 and PK-51 to be hot?
Yes, and also...
I'm just going to tag these real quick because I'm trying to find out.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to say his name at some point.
Well, the thing is, we can find it.
Can we? Oh, right, because it'll be in the journal. Yes, that's... Okay, good thinking.
Well, because they give us how old he was in the last entry.
Oh, right. We don't even need the journal. There will be a page for him in the book. Okay. The journal thing works too, though, right? They'll have to say his name to discuss his work. The chaser to PK-36's shot. Yeah, I guess they might. Rivalries, betrayals, no one gets what they deserve, and they never forget it. Kendrick is said to have been inspired by 1859, but I can't see it. It's said that this novel was the moment Emma Mayflower fell in love with Kendrick. Probably why his third took him longer to write. Beatrice adds, this darling machine now has entire copies of 2 of Kendrick's 3 most terrible novels, Time and Temporality.
Time and Temporality.
And temporality waits for no man.
Temporality waits for.
Honestly, at this rate, I hope Cecil hasn't damaged it. Poor beast.
I know this
Why-
one's title, I think.
Why is it all these books turn out to be true, or a bit true, or almost true, or contradicting each other and still true? Doom comes to the doctorate, too. Has no one got any imagination anymore, or... Oh, Christ.
Doom comes to the doctorate.
Okay, so we got a bunch of Kendrick stuff here.
Mhm.
So, 2 of his 3 most terrible novels is what this Beatrice note said. Moving kind of fast here. How many novels did he write?
I don't know, but we have
This is Temporality Waits for No Man. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Temporality waits for no man.
Legend tells us there must be 2 men in every love triangle. But there is only him and 2 of us. Fighting like dragons beneath the earth.
Straight people. You know, I just...
Yeah.
How are you going to understand the multiplicity of the universe if you can't even see the structures that you are overlaying onto everything with the... Anyway.
Yeah.
Notice, PK-37, it's got the broken...
Okay.
So, like, there's a timeline divide or something?
Oh, maybe.
There's some of these books are like, yeah, I don't know. Some strange stuff going on for sure. Did 36... The 36 one does not have a break.
No, it doesn't, and it's time and temporality. This
Okay,
is time and
let's
temporality.
see.
Yeah.
Time and temporality?
Juliet Basingstoke stood before her lover and knew in a moment of clarity like white glass that she was making a mistake. And she turned, and in that moment became someone else.
Okay. So let's run down his 51 work real quick. Just so that I don't have to remember it. Sinkin Kendrick's 4th novel. That's not right.
No, because it's a P. It's a.
Yeah.
This one's easy to name.
Thank you. We're doing stuff right now. Always with the...
In the shadow of a passage?
Okay, there.
I sent her flowers,
Pinkin Kendrick's 4th novel. Pinkin is not a name I'm familiar with.
Wait, yeah.
And she wouldn't listen. So I had to give her something that she valued.
Yeah, never in my life. Cataloging these because Dad did, even though I think he did it by mistake. The plot: this nasty university lecturer begins a torrid and over-described relationship with a student until the text of his new research work on matter entanglement, no less, is stolen and published by a rival academic. The reader knows from the outset what the twist is going to be, but will the lecturer accept the 2 were in cahoots all along? Seems like no one liked it when it came out, although weirdly, PK's wife didn't complain too much, seeing as it's definitely about her. See volume number 44 of the literary review. So PK's wife is... Wait, who did we... Was it Mayflower?
It might have been Mayflower.
We just had this information about the... Yeah, it was Mayflower, right? She was the first one to smile at him and realize that he...
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, sorry. So you wanted to run down his author page, which we should do. What was it?
You need to go back a few because I didn't actually do the math yet.
You didn't actually make the note.
Stoke stood before her lover.
Yeah.
Was it on this
go back
page?
again.
Moment of clarity
No, it was.
Kendrick at 47.
Oh, okay. No, this is it. Okay, 47, and this is from.
The notes
36.
appended in 51. Oh, yeah, right. The date is right there.
36 minus 47 is. That's a 9.
Is that not 91?
Maybe. Wait, 6?
No, 36. Sorry.
Maybe 9.
I flipped around the fence post the wrong direction. That's my bad.
Dark matter and the veil. Men must devour.
I don't know if they must, but they certainly will.
Dark matter and the veil.
The universe is more than the sum of its components, with the rest being dark, energyless, and potential left over from creation. Our universe is not an object under glass, but an uncompleted thing.
Okay. All of a sudden, we're fucking lousy with Kendrick's writing. Okay, so from here, we've mostly run it down. What we have has been attributed. There is still a bunch more, work we could do on the Academicalist Journal stuff.
Yeah.
So number 16 would be...
Well, they said it was the last issue before the occupation, and so it might be 40.
Yeah.
Either 39 or 40.
Let me, walk us there.
Okay.
Just in case there is something significant on the road.
41?
41 is what I'm expecting, given the numbers.
Okay.
1941. Europe is at war. Paris is occupied. But the journal is writing about antler patterns and mistletoe under the baleful eye of the Third Reich. Is that a good... So that's a good newsreel voice? Period appropriate?
Yeah, that's all right.
They couldn't hold out. They went dark after this until France was liberated. There's a brief mention of a DME book, Internal Oversight, published that year, but they don't say why.
Oversight.
I think a full review's in issue 17. Also, a belated attack on Pink and Kendrick's doomed follow... we would have just... If I had just followed... Okay. A belated attack on Pink and Kendrick's doomed follow-up to Temporality Waits for No Man. Deserved, probably, though they liked the one before. I shouldn't feed in any more of those things anyway. Alright, so issue 47 is issue 17 is sometime later.
Alright then.
We don't know exactly when.
Well,
I'm not allowed to...
if it's going to be after
on,
the occupation, it's going to be...
I have to actually have clicked on... let's make sure we're getting stuff written down here.
Issue 16.
Okay. That we have printed this as a miracle.
I do not wish to be shot for it. I choose to be shot for more serious matters.
Fair enough, dog. Okay, so... Issue 17. Again, we can just, force this. But presumably, yeah, sometime after, 45.
Yeah, well, yeah, it should be 44 or 45, I think.
Let's try...
The liberation of Paris.
Academicalist Journal, issue 17?
The enemy has gone. The sun shines down on this free nation. We have persevered. It is a thing most glorious.
France is free, which means the gloves are off. The Academicalist Journal also claims they won the war through the use of concurrent energies and actualization. Pierre Latour, the irascible editor of all the journal's 37 issues, eventually writes a full account, A Life Lived in Wartime, published a year after his death. After that, they accused Isambard Arklevich of writing under a pseudonym and of ignoring 1,000 years of research into ley lines in his Rampage series' 1942 conclusion. They finally report on Thaddeus Detzer's internal oversight in detail. I've already read the book, Words to Live and Die By. Okay, so first of all, I want you to make a note. Isambard Arklevich may be writing under a pseudonym. The Rampage series concludes in 1942. We still have those Rampage books we need to look into. That's like a whole thing. But the last one came out in 42.
And then IA 42. Okay.
Yeah, so TD...
So go to the previous...
Yeah, did Internal Oversight come out that year or the previous year?
I do not wish to be shot for it. I choose to be shot for more serious matters.
Published that year. Okay, so TD 41. Find dark matter in the veil, see if this relates. Not a lot of information, actually.
No, but we can...
Internal oversight?
The thoughts we think have the power to rewrite our most basic conceptions. The words we speak have the power to rewrite another's heart. The words we write have the power to rewrite the world. To wield such power is ungodly, but when power exists, it finds a channel. So guard yourself. Keep your words close and do not wield without will.
Do not wield without will is just kind of generally good advice. I'm looking up. There's something really bothering me. I can't quite... It's on like the tip of my brain. The name Isambard. Do you remember when I said that this feels to me, there's something in the texture of this that is a little bit like a little bit Illuminatus?
Yeah.
This is echoing something.
Well,
I can't quite figure it out.
Well, we have an IA 42 to see the last book of the Rampage ones if you want to.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
Oh, and it says in the note that this might be a pseudonym of Joshua Silverton.
See, this is a problem with these automated note-taking systems in games. We had not come to that conclusion.
No.
All right, the final novel in Isambard Arklevich's 10-year Rampage cycle sees strands from the previous 6 novels brought back together in a reflection of the original novel. An impressive feat after 10 years, though one that rather taxes the reader's memories and patience. Personally, I found this an underwhelming follow-up to Alienation. Where is Guinevere's great insight? Where is her pluck? She moves into servitude like the most mindless of slaves. Sir Lancelot beckons and she follows, and that is the whole of the plot. Arklevich's insistence that he was writing from experience did him no favors on this account either. No matter what manner of poor betentacled unfortunate he was describing, a 40-year-old does not kiss and tell. The work was, of course, banned in most corners of the world. I would like to stress that the copy collected here is for historical curiosity rather than artistic appreciation. The work was, of course, banned in most corners of the world? Is that an of course?
Not for 42, I don't think, especially.
So...
I'm not saying we should brute force this, but if we have a 10-year thing, 30.
No, I'm absolutely novels. Like we have a very narrow set here. So I would have thought Rampage would have been IA-32 then. Because, you know, you would imagine that the thing would be, the first name would be the one that is just like, you know.
Yeah.
Swords in the Dark is the second book. So, I mean...
Swords in the Dark?
No salt, he cried. What kind of palace is this? Salt does not keep well in space, the lady replied only. It goes as sour as warm milk.
Huh. I've made good on my word. Here's Isambard Arklevich's second Rampage novel. Lady Guinevere is taken by space pirates. The hero, roaming the canals of Mars, looks for a way to go deeper. He will find the sleeping knights/astronauts for the battle that the Glen of Galileo will bring.
Glen of
Presumably the third book.
Galileo.
This machine is carved through profound mysteries and deadly ones, but in making sense of this, it meets its match.
Rude. Rude.
The Glen of Galileo.
The empty void stretched out before them like a midnight meadow. We ride until we can ride no longer, the king declared. And we find salvation or we find despair. The horses moved into their glass helmets. Then, with the beat of a crop, they began to charge.
All right, well, that's fun. Part 3 is a subtle twist on the formula established so far, as Arthur and his knights take to the stars to search for the Moon Sword.
The Moon Sword.
A reference, of course, to the same holy object as CE-32 insists will save humanity from itself. The life-giving grail is never found in either scenario, but the discovery of a time portal in the wilds of Scotland sets up further entertainment for the second half of the series. The title is a reference to JS-31, I am sure.
Okay. So, let me...
Sorry, had a bit of a, bit of a cough there.
32 JS.
So... What is CE-32? What am I making reference to here?
Problems. They move like wood lice, scuttling into the cracks in society.
Interesting. Cecil erstwhile is best known for hurting Anglo-Gallic relations by destroying the only draft of Le Marchand's masterpiece revisions. It is a shame he did not destroy his own writings instead. To call this document of corrections foul is to insult rotting corpses and festering sewage, both of whom have a necessary place in the scheme of things. A world without Erstwhistle's contribution would be a world improved, as he has recently confirmed. A tadpole of a man. My copy came with a bonus tucked inside, JS-38. I would love to know how it came to be there.
Oh, that bastard. He turned you against me, Mayflower. But that wasn't enough. He had to destroy me, my reputation, and mind. Hell hath no pit deep enough, but I suppose he will have written himself into heaven. So, I know how it works as well as him.
It's rare for this archive to file a letter, but this letter, written by Silverton to Kendrick in 1931, is too intriguing to pass up. Her reply from the following year is equally remarkable. 5 years later, J.S. was dead, with only one more publication to his sorry name. Written by Silverton to Kendrick.
But to the Lady Kendrick, her reply in the following year. And then he was dead 5 years later?
Yes. Silverton
But-
dies.
But the note is telling us that is the pseudonym of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her reply from the following year was 39. What was her? EM?
EM.
Yeah, EM. Okay.
I don't deny it, we were close once, but I find it hard to imagine now. Whatever we had is gone, like the frost of winter. I intend to marry him once we have enough money. Do not contact me again.
Harsh. This remarkable machine deduced who this letter was for having LR53. And the recipient would try one more last desperate time a year later.
Okay, so that gives us
JS40, yeah.
40.
Yes, Kendrick was known for his quick wit,
Oh, right.
roving eye. But what was less well known?
What we eat, we devour. What opens, holds. Bindings cannot lift. Reality hangs like a darkened cloth over our eyes. Lord it.
Alright, so do note the broken symbol.
Yeah.
Here it is, Silverton's final work, never published. He handwrote one copy, this copy, and sent it to Kendrick. But Kendrick didn't even open it. He was too busy courting the woman Silverton was in love with. So it lay untouched until 1973. I know that's when Kendrick found it because of his final novel, Men Must Devour, written in 73, published the year after. Silverton died 3 years later, 40 years old, ignominious, beaten. A year after that, the Kendricks were wed. Okay.
So PK 74
Yeah.
should give us Men Must Devour.
Men must devour.
I know how to play the game.
He reads the letter, and it is like pepper on his eyes. He clutches at his face. Still there, he thinks. Like hatred, boiled down to little bits. Small enough to snort. A foul cocaine.
There's a real Benoit Blancness about this.
Yeah.
The plot. A professor reads an ancient book, but it is a weapon, and it eats his mind from the inside. His wife cannot help him. The whole thing is told by the professor himself as his mind folds up on itself. It ends mid-sentence with the professor apologizing to his wife for doing the same to her years before. A year after the publication of this maniac book, Pinkin Kendrick was committed to the institution where he later died. Why? Unclear. His widow only said it was a deeply personal matter. But if this archive proves anything, it is that all matter is personal. Nothing exists outside of the people who observe it. For example, 2 years later, her novel is about a nurse tending to victims of an insane war. I miss you, Dad. I did a catalog card under AC if you can read them. This is Liz. Did a catalog card under AC. AC. Do we have any dates that would be associated with her?
No, I don't think so.
I wonder if in all of the Cecil stuff, there was information sufficient to
Yeah. EM76 though should be the novel mentioned there.
Oh, right. This is how we were supposed to match up the
Okay.
Eisenbarn and the...
Okay, but don't tell us that. Let it dawn on us, okay?
Also, the machine informs me that this is true. Is not... don't trust that. Don't trust that.
No.
I wonder how I would feel about that, if I'd played this game 10 years ago, as opposed to in the era of the LLM.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
EM76. That's the novel by Emma. Oh,
You
okay,
sure?
maybe not. Well, it said 2 years. Can you go back to the previous page? Okay. And then scroll. A year after he was committed, and then 2 years later. Okay, so 7/7.
Okay.
Sorry, I was a year off. Okay, never mind. Can you try EK77 in case is under her?
The only the years where she's married. Okay. The heroine of Kendrick's last novel is a glucky young academic turned war nurse who turns the tables against the Reich in Vichy, France.
Closer this time.
Okay, all right, I'm working. By leading a rebellion of the injured and the sick, and the dead. The second half gets psychedelic. Pure fantasy, as Kendrick herself later acknowledged in a retrospective in the Literary Reviews, volume number 32. 72.
Volume 72.
I don't know how I said 32 looking right at a 7. But it comes from a place of deep humanity, and it raises a mirror to the dark machine of the Vietnam War.
Damn it, they found us.
Uh-oh. It was popular, more popular than Doomwild, but it's weirdly hard to find now.
Doomwild.
So we would assume Doomwild is also something written by.
Yeah.
Speaking of fantasy, what is the point of continuing here? This will be my last card. I can't do it, Father, whatever it was. It died with you. Huh. Okay, well. So,
All right,
volume
then.
72 of the Literary Review. So, like, 81-ish?
That last power surge must have made us visible. They're here. They're right here.
Okay, but what do we do about that? All of my verbs have to do with this machine. I can't shoot a Nazi.
Aha! 72 Emma Kendrick. Okay, 72-year-old Emma Kendrick in 81. All right, that's.
Literary Review, Volume 72.
The idea that we might bring someone back from the dead has always fascinated the human mind, to unwrite that most final of writings. It was the death of the man I truly loved that made me think of it, and the Marchand's work showed me the way. And it worked. I knew almost as soon as it was published.
Literary Review interviews the 72-year-old Emma Kendrick as though they hadn't tried to discredit her 16 years before. That's a long time.
Yeah. Don't forget what I told you, Abby. And don't let anyone tell you different.
I don't remember what he told us. She's worked them over and they don't even know it. Oh, and they mentioned us. The only known copy of Youngman's 1878 work on the intangibility of matter is in the private archive of one Cecil Calderly. Didn't do any research, clearly. My first proper card, Dad. I hope I've done it right. I did a log first. She doesn't mention her late husband. She does hint a new one's coming in. But she knows what she's got. She knows what her book can do. Christ, Dad, it wasn't an accident. She knew. This is a note made in 99. Did she send PK mad as well? Or was that someone else? His own 74 account blames it on a book. I guess I could believe that now. Huh. So on the intangibility of matter...
XY 78.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been here.
But we didn't know the title.
Right, but this is what I'm trying to...
Wait, is it not showing up?
No, and when I click on it, nothing happens. Like, it's supposed to, when you click on the title, it's supposed to pop up in the book, and she's like, no.
On the...
Oh, no, okay. We needed to unload the page and reload it, I guess.
Matter.
I was clicking on it, and nothing was happening before.
Okay.
On the intangibility of matter?
Okay, so now we go to the page, and it'll lock in the thing. Weird.
When a single man imagines a better future, he does not expect it to come to pass. But when 100 men do the same, when their wives and their children imagine it too, that future is all but guaranteed. Make no mistake, the world is the sum of our beliefs.
XY 78 with the broken symbol. Okay. Now that we've actually gotten that to lock in.
The idea that we might bring someone back from the dead is always fascinating to unwrite that most final of writings. It was the death of the man I truly loved that made me think of it, and the Marchand's work showed me the way. And it worked. I knew almost as soon as it was published.
So I think for her author page is either EM09 or EK09, depending on which.
I would think it would be EM09. It seems like they only use EK for the years where she was actually married.
Dead voice. Green Walker.
End piece. End piece is the one we're looking for.
Okay, let's see.
And end piece is the one we're looking for?
If you go to the front page of your notes.
Oh. Right. Sweetie, I've forgotten completely.
Is that EK77 end piece?
So
Is that her final?
It is indeed. It sure does look like it. This is the novel that she wrote while she was married to him.
End piece. Liam, I found it. I found that book you were after. Wish she was still up there. So you could tell me what I'm meant to do with it.
Yeah.
More than the eye. The eye can
Okay.
be made to see.
So you did tell us we were trying to remove stuff from the machine, right?
Rejoice.
Right.
Okay, and we know where the volume, or we know where the version control page is. We do not actually know how to operate the machine. And I am so leery of just bashing at source control. All right, let's have a look at this. So the editor page.
Wipe is Y.
Oh,
WI.
I didn't do that, by the way. I didn't touch anything. Who are you? Yeah. Tell me. Tell name? Tell me now. I'm not any of these folks.
Well, you're Abby. You're AV81.
Hold on. It's flipping around a lot without me. Abby, it is
Hey,
Abby.
That's my name.
Sort of. It's close to my name. Okay. Don't love this being XX00. So am I good to move around now, or? Abby, tell Cecil what Abby NE30 could be need help. Not opposed to some help. WO40, it is Will?
He had believed that the machine could benefit humankind, but the longer it ran, the clearer it became that humankind stood forever in a line, with those at the front taking the largest share.
Okay,
So,
right, I remember this.
finding a single place was to starve those who could never reach the front.
He took down the end.
So there is someone else here. I thought there must be.
Why must I speak out loud? Sorry, Father, I left. 14 long years passed. Then I picked up this book, Break Code, at a flea market, and you were inside. There's even a facsimile of one of your log entries, dated 49. Don't know how they got their hands on it. So I came back to feed it into the machine, and this time I found the message you left for me right away.
Listen to me. Your friend's dead. Now, wherever you are, show yourself, and you can join him.
Well, that's not a super compelling offer there, brother. Offering to shoot me might not work as well as an incentive as you would like. Okay, so we just gotta be quiet while we're doing our thing here. So 50 sources in all. And this was the last one entered.
Okay.
If we go back to the edit page now, is the machine gonna freak out again? Reintegration is power intensive, can reduce network capacity. Releases are known to have unintended consequences. So I want to perform a wipe.
He screamed when I shot him, you know. But he was a nice guy. He turned his little microphone off so you wouldn't have to hear.
To erase the machine, please enter Beatrice's magic words, maybe?
Yeah.
Two men stand on either side, one from above and one from inside. One from above.
I remember this, but I don't.
Beatrice's magic word.
Can you go back to the Elise page when you have a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so she found a letter written the year she left when she came back. So she left.
Right, we were just reading about.
85.
I'm using your friend's
Right, but that'd be
right now.
CC86?
It isn't any good. Shitty little battery pack. Can't be broadcasting more than what?
No.
10?
Okay.
20 feet? I'll tear this place apart if I have to. Beautiful building. You wouldn't want me to do that.
Because, yeah, 14 years passed. And then the note made in 99. No, it's effectively one of your log entries. So this is yeah, it's to her father.
Talk
right?
to me now. Don't be shy. I know you're down there.
And so, the work begins in earnest.
Yeah, I'm just looking
So
over.
you're alone. It must be getting harder and harder to persuade people to take your side. The thing rebels forget is that people like to obey the law.
Truer than I would like it to be.
He had believed that the machine could benefit humankind, but the longer it ran,
So I feel like I'm scrabbling at the edge here. She comes back in 1999 and discovers a note that would have been left.
It's a year after she left, but he was already dead.
So I came back to feed it into the machine. This time I found the message you left for me right away. She found 49, came back to feed it into the machine, and found the message you left for me right away. So she didn't find it by feeding 49 into the machine.
Strange thing. I know you can hear me. But when I send out a signal, I can't hear it. Turn up your volume, would you?
Written the year I left, but hidden. So it was written in 85, but it was concealed in some way. I came back to feed it into the machine, and I found the message right away.
Wait, did we try CC85? I thought we tried
Yes,
86.
just
Okay.
it's like,
Okay.
hey, the thing we just
sorry.
did, just do that again. Keep doing it until you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble holding on to all the numbers. And
Where are you? I know
This
you're
is a note
here.
that she
You're
left.
hiding in the rubble somewhere.
A note that she
Like a
left in 85.
Like an injured dog.
TR85.
TR?
TR is the name, the machine.
I'll give you that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Alive down there.
Yes, I see what you're
And
saying.
For what?
No.
For a cause.
Because
that's as
Cecil's
good as
dead. Cecil died in 77. So if you left a note in
Yeah.
the...
You know, I'm grateful to you. In the early days of renewal, it was easy to find people like you. Now, you're pretty rare. I have friends who've had to quit the business. Can't catch a break.
I have QM50?
No. No, we don't.
Huh.
Quantum state storage will allow us to compress all the information from the index, not just words and characters, but the loops and swirls of handwriting too, into an efficient
Fed a
electronic.
copy of the machine's design into the machine. This paper of BDs has the property under the constant observation of the machine of creating a DME effect that results in its own validation. In short, the system works because it works, and the machine itself is the proof. So I still don't really understand DME. Right?
mean,
There's
the
this
vibe-
phenomenon
All right then.
that's been mentioned to us several times. right? These
Yeah,
papers as DME related, and
it feels a little Talan Akbar. Is the
sure,
vibe I'm getting.
sure. But what I'm saying is, I think they would explain it more. Not that they will make
Yeah,
sense of it as
that'd
a.
be nice.
Not that they will make sense of it as a thing that exists, but I feel like we're missing a revelatory entry
Yeah.
on what DME, at least what it does, if not what it is. You know?
Yeah. Confession Day was.
So Dorothea Pemberton's work that has the word walk in the title. We still don't have linked. Nor do I think we've found the title.
So
Pemberton,
Confession Day.
a very ill 15-year-old when In My Dreams was written. To be In My Dreams is not a thing we have dated. Silverton used them in 29. A few years before her death in 1911, she was sent to France for the heirs. If we could find Dorothea Pemberton's
It won't work.
author page, we can
what
get the
your
title
friend
of this
said,
book.
But you can't destroy the Book of Resurrection. It writes itself.
Yes, thank you. The game's like, hey, it looks like you're flailing. Do you understand what you're supposed to be doing? No, I'm with you. I'm just trying to figure out the password. Thank you.
Sweetheart,
Yeah.
can you type in EM80?
Okay. Why?
Because Confession Day was published under her maiden name.
Okay.
In 80. We were looking for her name.
Okay.
And we know that she has entries under the.
Emma Mayflower slid herself into France in 1938. She was there when the Reich rolled in. She fought them, using every trick she knew.
Enough that you can smell his blood.
Strange, considering I think she was supposed to be in love with Kendrick in London at the time. She's meant to have married him in 44. Perhaps she's lying, or there's two of them. Or my father was right and DMEs are real. The machine has found them. The machine has created them, like tearing open a space. I think I'm beginning to see through the walls, and it hurts a little more each day. Is this what happened to you and Dad? Is this why Mom had to leave before my brother was born? Yeah, see, like we're on the tail of something very important.
Can we lock this one in?
Yeah.
Confession Day.
My husband is dead. I feel now that I never really loved him. Is that shocking? I'm shocked. I lived with him for so many years. Now I wonder if my life could have been very different. When I was a young woman, I was in love with a man with a brilliant mind. He had such dazzling ideas. To listen to him talk was like watching a firework display. And then one day, I was in love with Kendrick, as though the whole story of my life had been rewritten. No, I'm not sorry that he is dead. I understood his dark work. Damn it, but I understood it better than him.
Like a version of yourself from another timeline. Like if you were to be replaced suddenly.
Yeah.
Just your insides replaced by the insides of a you that lived a different version of your life. Resurrection. So, if this book is in my dreams,
And water.
Okay, In My Dreams is the walk book.
End notes.
It had to be.
In my dreams, I walk. In my dreams, I walk.
It was the only way that made sense, given the only thing that made sense given the references to it. Okay. So, a few years before her death in 1911, she was sent to France for the heirs. In My Dreams she's 15.
Yeah.
The rest of these books have to be afterward, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if any of them are. Dorothea Pemberton's second book is eclectic. She quotes R.S. 83. Long John Silver, she insists, is a real person, certainly more real than I. Joshua Silver came along later. Coincidence, I think? But even he was only real for a time.
Well, RS-83 is Treasure Island.
Yeah.
50 men on the dead man's chest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Drink, and the devil had done for the rest.
Beatrice's favorite book.
Ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
She says she'll name her children after the pirates. First William Billy Bones, then Pew, then Long John, but not Jim. That is too plain. It is absurdity. We must aim for girls. Girls? Oh, really? Well, if that's your intention, dear sweet Cecil, then why don't you do something about it, you love-struck fool? Henry doesn't stop asking, and one day I will say yes to him only to spite you. And so I did. The machine says I need to find In My Dreams I Walk to understand. Unsurprising. That volume was written during a battle with typhoid fever, and this one during a battle with its consequences, 4 ravaged years later. But I need both, linchpins to the purpose. To miss either would invite disaster. Alright, we know the titles of all of her books. Although, unfortunately, it doesn't do a good job of keeping them sorted. This has got to be an image in water, right? Based on the length of the title.
Yeah.
Semantics is the creation of a reality, like dolls in their houses, coming to life. When we write or dream, we create. When we read or we play, we animate.
Oops, that's not enough. I just think she's quite a significant character, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I have been to France. I have spoken to the greatest mind of our generation. And I am assured of just
This one we have already.
Yeah. You can see her fingerprints on his 11 paper. Pemberton might only...
Right, and then she dies in 11.
Yeah. What were the notes on this? Yeah, how does a bedridden Victorian woman travel to France and start meeting famous academics? It's like there's 2 different Dorothea Pembertons.
This is trouble.
This is troubling. DP08 with the broken symbol. Endnotes is sobering. No details, only Pemberton's frustrations at being unable to explain fully.
Endnotes.
Perhaps someone else will pick up where I have left off. The rot inside my own brain is too severe. I must be cut off from the ship, lest I sink the whole thing.
I must be cut off from the ship lest I sink the whole thing. There is something that this woman understood.
Yeah.
That is critically important here that I am not quite wrapped around yet.
Okay, well, we found 37 sources, 44 titles, 35. Okay.
Yeah.
There's 50 total.
We've matched up a fair number, yeah.
Okay.
There's still the Eisenbards. Right, we haven't actually finished working out Rampage. But it does seem like it's not necessarily super relevant.
Well, if Eisenbard is the same person as Joshua Silver, and Silver was in a love triangle with Emma Mayflower / Kendrick.
He published... It was Joshua Silverton who published Kendrick's research, right after Mayflower stole it.
Yeah, right.
And that's certainly relevant.
Why? Well, how about we track down the IAs?
Yeah. Keep pulling at every edge of the thing. Okay, the eponymous midpoint of the series. Well done.
Rampage?
The war goes badly, oh, Sir Galahad, the lady cried. But by your arm and your valor it may yet be won. Nothing lost is won, the knight replied, stoic as a stone. But everything won was uncertain for a time. So true, the lady replied, with the patience of a star.
I hate this dude's writing.
Yeah, no, it's real bad.
The eponymous midpoint of the series. In this one, a civilization of robots is discovered who turn their attentions upon Earth. Arthur must now fight a war on two fronts. Meanwhile, Lady Guinevere's transformation into an insectoid creature is nearly complete, and will have significant ramifications 2 years later in Azimuth Ascending. It is increasingly maddening to read. Interestingly, there's a reference in here to a powerful spell called Silverton's Curse. I think Arklovich might have known Joshua Silverton. I wonder if they met during the period in which this book was written. I mean, it's possible that they're not the same guy in a certain sense, right?
Except their signature is the same?
But the DME.
Right.
Like, it's possible that the Isambard who gets himself renamed Joshua Silverton is a different Isambard Arklovich than the one who's publishing the Rampage books.
Right.
And he takes on a different name for that reason, right?
Yeah.
So we think the next one is in 39, but I just wanted to see if anything happened. All right. And this one is Azimuth Ascending.
Azimuth Ascending.
The machine tilted its head to one side and began to chuckle. A dark noise like a river of chocolate running over cherry stones. Nothing about it made her feel any more comfortable. She tugged at the manacles on her wrists and said, bravely, "Get it over with then." The machine nodded, lifting
The fifth of Isambard Arklevich's 7-part Rampage cycle. I thought it was 6. Have we not read somewhere that it was 6 parts? I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. A sentient robot with a penchant for disaster falls in love with a tentacled alien of indeterminate gender.
Love that for.
That's the way to do it. The result is a fascinating exploration of power and self-knowledge on a canvas the size of the universe. These books will, I am sure, be remembered in the decades to come as signposts, signifying both great social and artistic change. Another reference to Silverton, and a powerful evil magic which destroys the caster. Is this a warning for his friend? Or himself in a certain way? So this is the 5th book. We have 42. Oh, 40 is right. The 6th book of Isambard Arklevich's Rampage books followed quickly on the previous, suggesting, frankly, less editing than usual. I confess to being disappointed by the protagonist's endless introspection. The fiery pace of the sword moon is long gone. So there was a moon sword.
The sword moon?
Hold on, I'm going to put that there for right now. Meanwhile, the alien characters are becoming increasingly coded, in my view, as women. They are natural community builders. They consider their appearance. They nurture the young. The bafflement Arklovich gives this behavior is, quite honestly, somewhat embarrassing. Silverton is not mentioned. Whatever Arklovich feared. Perhaps it is now too late. Oh, CC. I knew it. JS40 proves it. Was JS40?
What we eat, we devour. What opens
The letter, right.
bindings cannot lift. Reality
Okay.
hangs like a darkened.
So then IA 42 is the final book. This one being The Moon Sword.
The moon sword? Alienation?
Right?
I think so.
He stood on the brink of the cliff and of something else. He was a man, yes, but now more than a man. From his back, the long, articulated extra limb coiled up around his head. He heard her laugh once, and then he jumped, falling and rising, both and all at once.
The final knowledge in Isambard Arklevich's 10-year Rampage cycle. We've seen the... Maybe this is what I was thinking, was that we saw a reference to the previous 6 novels, and all I remembered was the word 6 and not the previous part. All right. Underwhelming follow-up to Alienation. Right. Okay. So, load the previous, which should now resolve.
You can't survive this, she screamed, the desperation in her voice, the first honest sound he had heard from her. I can and will, he replied soberly, and you will love me for it. And then he raised the blade and struck.
So, whatever's going on between Anne Arklovich and Emma ends with the letter in which she tells him, you know, whatever it was between us, it is gone now. I'm going to marry him next year. And then he writes this shitty sci-fi novel, like very hurriedly pens this 72-page sort of garbage interlude in his sci-fi series where he's like, women are aliens. Nobody can understand them.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I have to say, the writing of this game, like constructing the characters and stuff, I'm really enjoying.
I bring you a message, Rich called, trailing long fingernails around his nipples. It is a message of terror and destiny. Then tell me, he said, I am not afraid. afraid. But in truth, he was.
Look, I have trails of fingernails around nipples before, but if I said I have a message for you of terror and destiny, I am not getting laid anymore.
See, this is the difference between the kind of scenes you run and the kind of scenes I run. I have never, with the exception of you, I have never had sex with someone who did not first say to me that they had a message of terror and destiny. The king of kidnapped, only his beloved queen can save him from the thrashing pits of the moon. The king of Great Britain discovers a long-buried spaceship by the shores of Lake Windermere. Okay, I'm not sure that the Rampage books themselves tell us much more than what we've got out of them already. But at least they're all run down now. At least we're teching all of our sources here.
And what is the password requirements again? It's listed on Peters's folder.
Yeah. 2 men stand on either side, one from above and one from inside. So here's what I'm thinking. We just finished tracking down kind of like what I feel like is a lot of the story of the love triangle.
Yeah.
We could sort of closed a narrative bud there. And I do think we're probably pretty close to the end of the game, but we've also been now in phase 2 proper for like 2 hours.
Do you want to call it and just finish it next week?
So I am saying that maybe we should wrap it up here and finish it next week. I think this is a plan with some upsides and some downsides. Having a little bit of time to cogitate on it and being able to watch back and whatever is a good idea. Obviously, like, it hurts to break the momentum, but I also think we have other stuff that has to get done. So I think this may be where we wrap it up. I will say I really like this. This is the first I noticed the status on the front of our thing is updating with what is our proximal goal. I appreciate that. I really like a lot about the way this game is put together. I think this TR49 is excellent. It is 2 thumbs up from me so far, unless it does some kind of incredible header in the final act. But yeah, I think with that I'm gonna roll us back to the cave here.
Okay.
And do this thing. Hey, look at that. That is a QU17 for the moment. Okay. Only 51% of players have attached 35 titles. So take that, half of the people who've played the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, get fucked.
This is phase 3. What do we do in phase 3, sweetheart?
I don't know. We started the music. We started the backing music. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching today, especially those of you who survived Rant time.
That time was not that bad, sweetheart.
It was an interminable. It was just let me play.
Okay.
Let me play.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, that was the stream for today. I hope everybody else is enjoying TR49. I think we are going to probably wrap on that next week, although I don't really know how much is left. It may be more than I expect. But yeah, what a good game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So this is phase 3 of the stream, the post-stream, the part where we share some stuff you had some feelings about, positive feelings, mostly. You know what? Feel free to tell us if you encountered a thing and it made you ground your gears, I suppose. But the whole point here is that we're trying to share things that, that we enjoyed, that we loved in the past week, so that other people can also engage with them and love them as well. Spread around the beautiful things that are in the world so that we all can see them, because I think we could all use a little bit more visibility to the beautiful things sometimes. I don't know what is going on with Robin. I just looked over at the chat for the first time in about an hour, and Robin is just shouting, Terror, are you terror? What do you got? You got something you want to bring a thing up?
So I'm worried that I talked about this on a previous stream, Phase 3, like a year and a half ago. Maybe that's true.
Jeez.
But
you can certainly bring up a thing that you talked about that long ago.
I watched the movie. I shared the movie Morris with a couple friends of mine. This is a movie from the 80s. It's about sad gay boys in Edwardian England, based on the E.M. Forster novel.
Sure.
And I found, like, this is my third or fourth time seeing the film, and I found the performances to be really strong and subtle, and it's about being gay at a time when it's illegal to be gay. So like it has some tension there, and there's a lot of like the character dealing with like self-loathing and fear, but in the end it does resolve like with a very satisfying kind of romantic ending. So usually a lot of queer movies from the 80s don't have that, so I'm letting you know ahead of time that this will not bum you out, other than seeing the way things are reflected. But it's really beautiful film with really strong performances, really kind of wonderfully nuanced writing, and I recommend it highly. It's a really moving, beautiful thing. How about you, sweetie?
I would like to point out for the people listening who are perhaps interested in trying to follow the thing she just said, the title of the film is Maurice.
Nope. No.
If you look up Morris, you're not going to find it.
Okay.
British people sometimes pronounce the French name Maurice as Morris, but it is spelled like the French name, not like the English name, which is Morris, and not the title of the film.
Okay, yeah, it is Maurice. It's the one with Hugh Grant.
Yes.
And
I know you think this is a really funny bit, but for real, people are not going to be able to find the movie if you send them out looking for Morris.
It's not a funny bit. The character, I just saw the movie, and that's the character's
I know,
name and how he pronounces it.
I know, but this is not how Morris is. This is just English people being recalcitrant. I don't know if you know this, but the English and the French, they have some feelings about each other. There's been some history.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Rupert Graves is in it, and it's quite good. Ben
it's got
Kingsley
quite a
plays
cast.
Conversion therapist. It's
Helena Bonham Carter as woman at cricket match, uncredited. It's presumably before she was terribly famous. What, 1987?
So this would have been the year after her first like really big role in the same director's film, Room with a View. So probably it was like a cameo as a thank you or whatnot.
BBDDH says, in reference to the British and French have some feelings between each other. Is the feeling between them love? It's a type of love.
Type of love.
There's a type of love in there. Also, BBDDH says, Deadlock, getting the claws back in me. Yo, Deadlock looks so fucking good. I want to play more Deadlock, but I really would like to play it with people, and I am having a hard time convincing any of my proximal friends to get into Deadlock with me, but it seems really rad. I have played a little bit solo, but I really enjoy those kinds of games so much more when I have someone to be shoulder to shoulder with. I also saw in the chat Lazuli saying a game that inspired positive feelings for me that I highly recommend since there's a demo, Creature Kitchen. Look at this. Look at this thing. Toast. You make the toast, and then here's look at the creature. I mean, that looks real good. That looks very fucking good. I think that is a great recommendation. That's the thing I'm going to check out.
Okay, I'm seeing it now because
you're on the stream
I'm
delay.
watching the stream. Okay. Yeah, no, this is exciting. Oh, look at that guy. Oh,
All right.
good.
For me, my thing that I'm going to recommend is a cartoon that came out recently. I think it came out this week, a couple of days ago on Netflix. It's called Strip Law. And I have not seen it all yet, but I'm several episodes in, and I'm enjoying it very much. It's a it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon about a law firm in a sort of cartoonishly exaggerated version of the Vegas Strip. It's got a lot of cool comedy people in it. Branson Reese is working as a producer and does a bunch of voice work in the show. It's got Adam Scott and Stephen Root, and it's just a total delight. I am enjoying every part of it so far. It doesn't even have its own Wikipedia page. That's fucked. How did I
Neither
get?
do I.
Well, I do think that's a travesty as well, by the way. But you understand how that's different, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Here's what it looks like. Here's the four critical characters of Strip Law. Irene is an absolute delight. New favorite character of the year. And just like, yeah, it's just real good. It's a real good funny cartoon if you have my sense of humor. Which is to say, if you are the kind of person who knows who Branson Reese is, you are going to like this show. One of the recurring characters that he plays is a bartender who is, I can't remember what his name is. It's a name that starts with O, but then the rest of the name is Italian. It's like a really stereotypically Italian name. And instead of being like a sort of like a blending of those two things, he just wildly catapults between a really stereotypical Irish cartoon accent and a really stereotypical Italian cartoon accent, and just like moves back and forth from line to line.
That's pretty good.
It's very funny. So it's a very sort of incomprehensible character, which I love very much. Trying to think, did I have anything else? Oh yes, I did. I discovered some new music this week. YouTube recommended me some stuff, and for once it wasn't crazy wrong. YouTube, the recommendation algorithms of the internet are, in my experience, in my personal history of them recommending things to me, just horrible at their jobs, right? They recommend me so much stuff that I hate. It's always garbage. But every once in a while there's a weird hit out of nowhere, and they recommended me a musical act called Girlish Figure, which I think it's just a lady. I don't think it's a whole band, but whatever. The Girlish Figure, they're girls. You can find them on YouTube under that name. If I pull down the cave image here, look at that. That's Girlish Figure. She's just making music for the lesbians, and I enjoy it. It's sort of poppy. You described it as being sort of 80s inflected pop.
Yeah.
Which I think is a reasonable place to put it. But yeah, I'm enjoying Sertraline Dreams. I think is like a real solid record all the way through. I haven't listened to all of it yet, or listened to all of her stuff, but yeah, Girlish Figure, pretty rad if you like music for and about lesbians. Which I think there's some of that going on in the chat. Anyway, that's what I got. That's what I brought to be excited about. Yeah. Lana the Witch says, I've recently been trying to get through Darksiders 3. I wouldn't exactly call it a great game, but I'm having a great time. And so the shout out is for trying unlikely games. Yeah, Darksiders 3 is the one where you get to play as Death, right? I remember I played through the first two Darksiders games. Wait, maybe Darksiders 2? I don't remember. Darksiders 3 is the one where you're Rage? Or Wrath? Fury.
I played
Fury.
a little bit of the first one, but I didn't get very far into it.
The first one's very like, it's very Metroidvania of that time, right? It's got a very like it's like a Legend of Zelda game, more I guess.
It's like a Legend of Zelda and a God of War games, what it felt like to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Legend of Zelda games from that time basically are like you think about like Twilight Princess and stuff, right?
I haven't played that one. I don't know.
And then in 2, you were Death, I think. Just playing through the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and in 3 you are Fury. Seems neat, but yeah, try unlikely things. Just like not only just like buy like weird old stuff for cheap during sales if it maybe like sparks a little bit of interest, but also if you've been on Steam for very long, you probably have some weird shit in your library that you bought because it looked like it would appeal to you at some point. It was on a deep sale or whatever, and then you just never got around to it. Go ahead and just like dig into your backlog. I find all kinds of cool stuff doing that. We still need to finish that puzzle game that we just covered doing that very
Right.
thing a couple weeks ago. All right, I think with that we're gonna go ahead and bail out of here. The stream's been a little bit on the long side, which is my fault. So thank you all so much for watching and for and for everything. Like, I talk about the difficulties that I have, but let me tell you something. My life would be 1,000,000,000% worse if I couldn't survive by doing this job. Because I don't know if you heard all the things I was saying, but they definitely add up to not being capable of living the 9 to 5. And that's not just me being like, oh, I'm too cool for it. I tried, y'all. I bounced out of normal people, straight life several times, very painfully, disastrously, in pretty much every way I could imagine to get into it. And being able to make a living here on the internet doing this is literally probably the only reason I am still alive. So thank you all very much for helping to contribute to that. I hate to see, now that I've said that, it feels like coercion. I'm just saying thank you. I'm saying thank you. I'm grateful to everybody.
I think everyone understands that.
Okay. And I'm grateful to everyone for even just for, if you've ever watched a video, that fucking rules. Thank you so much. We're going to keep working. Like I said, I have an episode of Routine recorded in the can already. I just need to figure out how to stitch the two halves together in a way that will produce a readable video file. And once I've done that, that's going to be up. There's more stuff coming. Like I said, there's a couple of Phoenix points already in the can as well. We are going to play through that whole Phoenix point. I'll tell you right now, there's some chance I'm bailing on Demon School. I'm really not enjoying it. And I feel like I was trying to give it its time. I feel like I've given it its time. Demon School might vanish from the schedule. We'll see.
If you need to, we can bail on Vampire as well. I won't mind.
No, I'm really enjoying Vampire. That stuff's going to keep coming. I'm going to keep trying. This week is going to be a little harrowing with the phone calls and the having to go to appointments and stuff, but
yeah,
I'm going to do my best to get videos out. I want to put videos out. I want to play games and show you all the games that I am playing. I want to have lots of little shiny things to crawl up to you with my goblin hands and be like, look. And when you come back next week, there's still more Pitfall to explore. There's still more TR49 to finish, and we'll have something else prepped too, because I think it's probably not a full stream of TR49 is my guess. So come back for that. In the meantime, life is difficult and strange, but find a way. Go out into the world, feel the positive feelings, find something to love, be on the lookout for, search, actively love something, and then come back here and express your feelings about it to us. And we'll see you